We know that plastics are everywhere, on our beaches, in the oceans, in the air, and in our food and water. And they're broken down into tiny particles called micro and nanoplastics, or MNPs. But what do these minuscule particles actually do to our health? In the Plastics Fate project, scientists carried out some of the most detailed lab studies so far to find out. They tested a wide variety of these plastic particles on different types of human cells. Cells from the lungs, the digestive system, the immune system, and more. The good news: these plastic particles didn't kill the cells. So there's no evidence of immediate or acute toxicity. But the story doesn't end there. Even though the cells didn't die, some of them started behaving differently. They produced more or less of certain substances like mucus, or the signals that they used to communicate with each other changed. And when plastic particles carried other contaminants like harmful chemicals or bacteria, the effects were stronger. This shows that it's not just about the plastic itself, but also what it brings along. This matters because most lab tests only check if a substance kills cells. But here the plastic changed how the cells functioned, not whether they survived. It means we need to look deeper. Even if MNPs don't seem harmful in small amounts, long-term exposure could still affect our health in ways we don't fully understand yet. And so this research points the way forward. By focusing on changes in how cells function, we can develop better ways to understand and manage the risks of microplastics. This is already being taken up in future research plans. And it's being translated into recommendations for policymakers and regulators. This is a big step toward better health protection. The journey from research to action is ongoing. We know that we have to translate research into action for a healthier environment. This involves everyone. It's a global challenge. Over the past 4 years, Plastics Fate's research has helped shape some key recommendations for researchers, policymakers, industry, and all of us. First of all, we need to improve the reliability of MNP research, and so policymakers should promote international standards and harmonization. That means developing global standards for sampling, processing, analyzing, and testing MNPs in different media, like air, water, soil, and food. At the same time, it's vital to ensure that testing across labs is consistent and comparable. Encouraging comparisons between labs will help improve accuracy and reliability. All of the results should go into publicly accessible databases that also catalog plastic additives and contaminants. In this way, if we standardize how we effectively monitor and assess risks, it will make a significant difference. Policymakers should fund long-term research on diseases and vulnerable groups that may be affected by MNPs. Next thing, clear regulatory limits need to be established for MNPs in food, water, air, and indoor environments. Supporting transparency in plastic production by encouraging industry to share information about chemical additives is a step in the right direction. Promoting the use of environmentally friendly additives and degradable polymers, especially for high-release products like tires and paints, is a smart move. By adopting the safe and sustainable by design strategy, we can prevent harm before it occurs. Because when scientific certainty is lacking, it's wise to take a precautionary approach. And so, raising awareness of risks is crucial. Everyone needs to know how they can help reduce their exposure and the release of MNPs by actively recycling and using fewer single-use plastics. The fight against the risks of MNP pollution is a global one. Policymakers have the power to drive meaningful changes. By implementing these recommendations, we can better understand and mitigate the risks of MNPs. And by sharing our research and working together, we can help worldwide collaboration and knowledge exchange. It's clear that each of us has a role to play in creating a safer future. And translating research into policy and action involves us all.